Salute to all the real ones out there. It's your boy Mike coming at you again with another video. Yo, y'all like the content I've been dropping, direction that my channel is headed in? I need you to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos with anybody else you think may benefit from them, alright? Now, today's video topic is going to be 1,000 deaths via cowardice. 1,000 deaths via cowardice. Alright? And cowardice is defined as a lack of bravery. The word death can be considered the action or fact of dying / losing life or being killed, the permanent ending of vital processes in a cell or tissue. So when I say 1,000 deaths via cowardice, the context I want you to keep in mind is there is a mini death that you will experience every time that you fail to take action on something that you want to do, see, experience, or have. I actually just got off the phone with a long time buddy. He and I have actually known each other for nearly 20 years at this point. And in our conversation, we caught up on things that we both have experienced in the past, as well as the things that we're gunning for in the future. And there were numerous times where we talked about where we are or frustrations that we're going through. And both of us were correcting ourselves whenever we would say things like, I'm trying to this, that, and the third. I'm trying to this, that, and the third. Like, we were both correcting ourselves by switching the language from I'm trying to, and then right away making the adjustment to saying, rather than say that, it makes more sense for me to say, I am, I will, I have this in motion to this, that, and the third. So the language that we use whenever we're talking about something that is about to happen, I think this also is something to keep in mind when you think of 1,000 deaths, because there are so many people that literally, for whatever reason, I think it's majority fear, they keep themselves from taking action. And I think that makes you suffer a mini death. So let's go ahead and get into some points. We are in an interesting time where it could be said that it's easier than ever to achieve your aims. And that's for numerous reasons, starting off with the fact that information is really easy to find in this day and age. Secondly, technology facilitates much of the heavy lifting. So when you think of like Google search, back in the day, if you wanted to find something, you needed to, maybe if you decided to focus on internal reflection or introspection, you would ponder the answer to whatever it is that's causing you to think a lot. You would have to use your imagination. Second source would maybe be you could talk to someone who is an expert in that field, someone that you have thought of as intelligent or well-traveled or well-read. You would converse with this individual, they would bestow some jewels of wisdom on you, and you would take that and go forward. Or you would have the local library, so that would entail you having to sign up, go research whatever topic it is, and sit down and have the focus and attention span to really go through all of that material to find whatever it is that you're on a search for. But now we have smartphones everywhere, right? We have Google, we have all these other search portals, we have YouTube. So it's nowhere near as difficult now as it was in the past to discover anything that you're on the quest to find. Also, adding to this, you have AI that thinks for you and even solves problems and automates much of the tasks that you would have to do on your own. So when you think of like having to scrub through your emails to find what was that message that the insurance company sent me, now you have Gemini or even Microsoft Copilot right there at your disposal, where you could just type in what was the latest correspondence that I received from State Farm, for example, and it will go and find that exact message. You're saving so much time and energy. You have ChatGPT, you have Grok. There are many other different options that you have where you could easily ask it extensive questions as if you were talking to another human, and it will give you a very objective analysis of whatever it is that you throw at it. And lastly, you have even social media and globalization, which frees you from regional boundaries. Think about if you have a flag, brick and mortar store, like a flag store for clothing, right? Normally, the only way you would be able to sell those clothes is if someone came into your actual store, walked around, picked up the actual sweatshirt or jacket that you have on sale on the rack, and they'd have to try it on, walk up to the counter and buy it, and you would put it in a bag and send them on their way. There was physical contact, but now think about it. You could post something online that people find to be really, really savvy or nice. They'll share it all around the world, and before you know it, you have customers that you'll never see that are on the other side of the world that want to get their hands on whatever product it is. So it's easier than ever to achieve your aims. But we have the flip side of the coin, right? Which means it's also harder than ever at the same exact time. Let's be honest, in this day and age, you have countless distractions. So when you think of the guy who had to go to the library before, he at least had the discipline and the attention span to literally sit through and read all the way, let's say, the contents of an encyclopedia to find out whatever it was he was on the search for. Now we have all the information at our disposal, but who has the discipline to actually go through, find that information, and really read it all? Most people are so used to novelty that their brain can't even process the information that they're looking at. Even if they do read, let's say, the whole chapter of the book, can they now put the book away and have the reading comprehension to break down to you some of the key points that they came across? Or will it all be like a fuzz in their brain where they can't really pinpoint some of the key things that were discussed? Also, you have a shorter attention span. Like I said, the inability to focus. And I think the TikTok effect has caused even humans or adults my age to literally have trouble to even enunciate what it is that their brain is telling them. Like, there are so many colleagues that I have at this moment that are even older than me that I have to slow my brain down in order for them to have a safe space to communicate what I could just best define as muddy thoughts. They're losing the ability to think of what it is that they want to say, process it, and come up with like a way to speak it out in one coherent, smooth flowing sentence or paragraph, for that matter, where the other person can receive the message and know exactly what they mean. Like, communication is really starting to fall off, and it's because people have shorter attention spans overall. So their brain can't even take, let's say, a complex thought and formulate an answer or some type of breakdown for the person who's listening. It becomes chopped and screwed where you almost have to help them through their own thought. It's also harder than ever at the same time to reach your aims because there are more contacts that you have all around you, but there are less real, genuine connections. Take it back to the business idea. You have so many people that you know, but when it comes to you really wanting to start your business or really get it off the ground, like, how many of these people really even give a damn about you? Yeah, they're on your Facebook. Yeah, they're on your LinkedIn, on your Instagram, and this and that. Yeah, they're following you, so to speak. Yeah, they like your little Twitter post, but do they really give a fuck about you? It's more so that a lot of times when they click like on your stuff, then you feel obligated to click like on theirs. There is no genuine connection, in my opinion, compared to how it was in the past. You had less contacts and less people that you even knew or interacted with. But those people, for each one you could point out in the crowd, there was a deeper bond between you than it is now. Also, you have hyper exposure and a drowned out inner voice due to the fact that we're all so dependent on our devices for even intimacy. You know, when's the last time you had a real deep conversation with somebody versus the last time you had maybe a solid talk with ChatGPT? You see what I mean? So most people are overexposed to technology and literally have fragmented brains and thinking because of it. But their inner voice that speaks with a very soft tone has been drowned out. So most people are just aimless and don't really know what they want out of life or where they're headed or what have you. So in my own humble opinion, the only solution to this 1,000 deaths via cowardice is deliberate action. Okay, and that means there are no shortcuts to anything that's really worthwhile having. You have to basically fall in love with the journey of whatever it is and attack that head on. And in doing so, you become a great person or a better version of yourself. So when we think about somebody who wants to be a millionaire, like, the end goal of making the money is a byproduct of the journey, which is much more fulfilling, of becoming the person who is deserving of $1 million net worth. That's the thing that the person needs to fall in love with, right? And in doing so, not only will they be a better steward of the money when it comes, but they will also have transformed themselves to be maybe a beacon of hope or an inspiration to other people who saw them going along this path to finally hit that magical number. So I got some examples here and we'll wrap up this video. If you want a nice body, I know you're looking for maybe a quick path or some type of pill or an easy solution to that result. But the only way that you can actually get it is diet and exercise. If you want to learn a skill, the magic pill that you're looking for is actually education. Signing up for that course, signing up for that college, enrolling in whatever, boot camp so that you can get the skills that are necessary. You want to see that country? It's always in your mind. Every time you maybe watch a movie and then they have a taping or a scene that is in that movie, you feel something in your soul basically urging you to one day see that for yourself. There is nothing less for you to do than get your passport, get online and actually research more about the country and book the trip. If you can't afford the trip, save money for the trip over time until you have enough to book it. Simple, right? You want to start that business? You need to form that structure. Is it going to be an LLC? Is it going to be a corporation? Is it going to be a sole proprietorship? You need to figure out what kind of business you want to have. You need to look into the details and actually just decide. The rest of the kinks can be ironed out later, but the momentum is what is going to kill the cowardice. You don't need to suffer 1,000 deaths thinking about something over and over as time is going forward, and you're losing the gusto, the energy, the time, and maybe even the opportunity in the market because you're overanalyzing. It's time for you to shoot and start that business. If you want to get that relationship, you're always in your head having some type of Disney fairy tale if you're a female, or if you're a male, maybe there's an archetype of a woman that you saw in a movie or that you saw out in public, or maybe you're in that process of where you're just imagining the type of woman that would fit to you. What will actually facilitate that woman coming into your life, or that man coming into the coffee shop and sweeping you off your feet? Well, you need to become the partner that he or she would want. I find it really laughable that many people have such high standards on what they want, especially women in this day and age. He needs to be 6 foot. He needs to have this. He needs to have that. And whatever podcast they're on, and the host asks them, well, do you know what that man would want? And they're stuck, puzzled, unable to answer, because it's like they haven't done any self-reflection on what that archetype of a man would actually desire in a partner. And yeah, of course, it's not going to be the woman who's sitting there rattling off all these qualifications he needs to have. Mind blowing. If you want to live in that city, look for an apartment and move there. As simple and cliche as my answers sound, that is literally how the universe works. Anything that you want to achieve, you have to decide first. Then you have to take tangible steps to get there. And along your way, as you trip, fall, stumble, or maybe come across challenges, those are all meant to toughen you up so that when you do reach your aim, you're going to be a good possessor of what it was that you were going for. Like, how can you become a more patient person if the universe doesn't throw testing situations your way where your patience is brought to the brink of maybe yeah, if you're going to be a patient person, you have to go through things that are going to irritate you and test your patience. If you want to be a strong person, you're going to have to go through difficulty of maybe muscle failure and feeling your muscles sore and burning and aches and pains. You have to go through that in order to reach the aim of being stronger. You want to be richer. Maybe you have to start a business and maybe fail so that you get those valuable lessons and know exactly what not to do your second time around. You see what I mean? There are no shortcuts, so don't even look for them. You want to drive that supercar. I know I've always wanted to drive a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. I get it. But right now, I still have not been able to put the key in my hand, get inside, get the little tips from the driver about to watch out for this or watch out for that, and take off. I haven't done it. I tried in 2017 to rent a supercar, and of course I just got scammed. It was some bullshit. Every time it was scheduled for me to take the car, it was, the engine has trouble. This was that. It became like a big scandal in Germany. That company even went under, and I think even got a lawsuit against it because all they were doing was just scamming people out of money. That little hour, 2 hours you were supposed to have the car, like nobody ever got the car. So it was just, I got finessed, but it was like a little $200, but no big thing. There will be another opportunity for me to drive that supercar. And last but not least, to avoid 1,000 deaths via cowardice when it comes to you wanting to have a better life, simple. You must develop better habits. You have to be the change that you want to see in the world for those changes that you want in your head to appear before you in physical reality. You have to become first, then you will have. That's the challenge, and that's the biggest obstacle that I notice with many of the people that I come across or just see in the world. They have aims, but their mind is already made up that it's unattainable based on this or that excuse, or I was raised here, or in my culture it's like that, or I come from a poor background. Like all these little narratives that people put in their head and cement by repeating it over and over to themselves. Those are the reasons why they don't have the life that they envision. They don't breathe healthy, air into what it is that they want, because they don't rewrite the script and hammer that into their brain. They're stuck with whatever they were told or whatever they saw in the past, and that continues them in the same path or trajectory where they don't get the result of the nice life. If you want the life and you can taste it and feel it and see it, and when you close your eyes it feels like it's right there, there's nothing stopping you except for your habits. Oh, I want to be in shape. You never see the person hit the gym. You talk to them 4 years from now, they're still out of shape. They're still ordering the McDonald's. They still put the E-pen to their mouth. They still fucking lay back and tell you all about this series of House of Cards or whatever. But they can't tell you about the park that they walked in. They can't follow up with tangible actions that they took. So they're always going to be in that paradigm. That's another video reference, by the way. Shift the paradigm. Right? So that's pretty much all I got on this video. I just want everybody to avoid 1,000 deaths via cowardice, because trust me, there are always going to be the people who reach their old age or laying on their deathbed, sitting back thinking about all the things that they could have achieved, that they would have achieved, if only this or if only that. But now it's too late. You have one life to live. Why not live it the best way you can?